It's just chaos taking place in the Power universe. And it happened in the form of some comments 50 Cent made about Omari Hardwick. These comments kind of echoed some earlier comments and statements that he made on The Breakfast Club, right? So 50 went on The Breakfast Club, and you know what? Let me cue the audio. Let me let y'all hear what he had to say.
When you hear Omari doing interviews, Omari Hardwick, do you feel like he's ungrateful for some of the moves and things that you did for him?
I think he leaves people feeling like he said it to me. You know what I'm saying? Like what the fuck? Look, also point out the fact that when you don't have money, that I'll give you the money. Like give him $50,000, $60,000 and say, yo, nah, just get back to me when you're ready, like until you're comfortable and settled in. Mm-hmm. But when he says this stuff on, I think he overvalues himself, to be honest with you. Because since then, it's been a long time since he hasn't been in power. Mm-hmm. Why are we not excited about the new projects?
What new project?
It's new projects.
You got new. I didn't know. See,
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That is exactly what I'm talking about. If there was noise going on, if he was that big of a draw, then we would see noise. We would see new things happening. Mm-hmm. We see you out where you actively in a place where people are looking for you.
Mm-hmm. So y'all not cool. It sounds like.
No, because you leave it like it's me not giving you the money. Mm-hmm. If he's saying it and he going, Courtney and the 50, no. You saying that, they don't know who the fuck Courtney is. I introduced people to her. Mm-hmm. They don't know who she is. So you leaving it for a 50 didn't make sure I got paid. Mm-hmm.
Okay, now 50 would later echo these statements on Cameron's new interview platform, which, and forgive me, it's leaving me at this time. I'm just doing this in the raw, y'all. But Cameron has a new interview platform, and this is what he had to say on Cam's new space. Check this out.
So we talking about power. We seen Ghost have a little problem.
Yeah.
I still call the nigga Ghost. I don't know nothing else. I call him
Omari.
Yeah. What was the problem with you and him, and why was he so mad?
What's crazy about people have success for the first time. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they need it to be theirs, all theirs. Like they want it to be their success, right?
Right.
There's no one person responsible for a television show. It's a collective.
Right.
Right? Now, part of the process of hiring them, right? At points when it wasn't financially in a good space, he will tell you I gave him the money. The rest of the company didn't give him the money. You know, I was only getting $17,000 per episode. How am I giving him the money? I'm giving it to him from out of my pocket, bro.
Right.
So when you do that, what happens is when he's saying that he feel like they didn't pay him is because he sees himself as the face of the entire network.
So just real clear, so I'm catching up. He said he didn't get paid. That's what the problem was?
He said he didn't get paid enough. He thought he should get more.
Oh, okay.
You know, and while he's saying that, you know, immediately they're gonna look to me. Our audience is gonna say, well, the hip hop coach, youth coach. Mm-hmm. So immediately gonna say 50 didn't pay him. Because you heard him say 50 and Courtney or whoever. Mm-hmm. They don't know who Courtney is.
Right.
Bro. So they're gonna like 50 didn't pay him.
Okay, so basically, there's been trouble in paradise in the Powerverse for a while now. Many of you, even myself, who have championed the return of Ghost, you know, and I've had several videos in the past championing the return of Ghost. But I finally gave up the dream, and it's because I saw the moves that were being made, or really the moves that were not being made as it pertains to Omari Hardwick and his rejoining of the Power universe, especially at times that would have been more than appropriate. And we've seen it over the years especially through Power Ghost, which is the spiritual successor of OG Power. Although there are many spinoffs, Power Ghost was supposed to be the continuation of this Ghost story, right? I mean, it literally bears the man's name. And when you see things like Tariq is having flashbacks of fallen figures who he's affected, but we don't get a Ghost recall or, you know, him an appearance in that moment. Or when his father leaves him a letter, you know, and Tariq is reading it, but he's reading it from his vantage point in his voice, and we don't get an Omari audio soundbite, right? Or when he updates his will, you know, he's speaking through this lawyer and this and that, and there's no semblance of a continuity from Omari's presence. I mean, it just leaves one to wonder, like, you know, what's really going on? The fact that, you know, even with this past summer, they had a major event. Power turned 10, right? So Power turns 10. You're the face of this franchise, okay? And you're not even at the party, you know? So Omari Hardwick, I think, has made it glaringly clear that he doesn't mess with the Power universe at this time. And I don't think it's for some of the reasons that have been outlined. Again, I think that Omari Hardwick is in a space where he doesn't want to be defined by that character of Ghost. But I also think, coupled with that, he feels disrespected by those who worked, in the capacity of leadership at Starz, And I think is this where the 50 Cent piece comes into play, and where 50's angst, you got to kind of feel him on this, is like when Omari Hardwick comes out and says, oh, I didn't get paid what I was worth. 50 is saying, look, the streets don't know who Courtney Kemp is. They're not going to associate that statement with a woman, the woman who's the showrunner or was the showrunner at Starz at this time or whatever. They're going to look at it like 50 Cent, who is the figurehead, if you will, of this series and this universe, although he works in tandem with many people in leadership, but because he's the figurehead, the street's going to look at it like, well, 50 Cent did Omari Hardwick a certain way. And that's where 50's coming from with his angst. But I think it's even deeper than that. I truly believe I've shared this like thinly veiled, but y'all my patronies, man. I gotta share it with y'all for real. Omari's problem ain't with 50 Cent. Omari has a Courtney Kemp problem. And I've alluded to this, but I truly believe that, and it's not even I truly believe. I've heard Omari say this. Omari has said in so many words and outright. I think he was on Bernthal's podcast, John Bernthal, who played the Punisher most famously. And if you're like me, you watched him in, The Walking Dead, season 2, he plays Shane, Cole character. And Omari Hardwick gets on his podcast and he says, look, pretty much, I want a chance to produce certain episodes or direct or, and he paralleled these opportunities that he was lacking or wasn't getting with the opportunities that his friends, such as like Kerry Washington, who worked on a major show, she worked on Scandal, right? And he was paralleling his experience on Power with her experience. And he felt like, man, I was being humble and I was playing my position, but I still wasn't getting the recognition that I feel like I should have gotten. And that's his problem. So when 50 comes into play saying, oh, he feels more important than what he is, Omari actually, he does, and just based on his own statements, I think he does feel important, but he feels like that importance wasn't acknowledged to the degree that he would have liked. And I think, honestly, behind the scenes, he started to press, and they got so tired of him that they said, not only are we going to write you off, but we're going to take this and make it a sprawling universe, this thing called Power, and we're going to put the people who worked alongside you, we're going to put them above you, just to prove to you in a way that you're not the draw of this series or this network. You may have been its symbolic leader to a degree, but as long as we put our magic on another series, be it Power Force or Power Ghost or even Raising Kanan, which Raising Kanan, bar none, is probably the greatest adaptation of the original Power series, in my humble opinion. But whatever we do, we can make that same magic take place. It don't have to be an Omari Hardwick thing. Like, this thing don't hinge upon whether you're here or not here. You don't make or break us. And I think they've done all this to prove that point to that man, So in a way, him appearing on these series would have really taken away the point that they were trying to make. It would have robbed them of the some point that they were trying to make, which is, yeah, you're a good actor and we respect your skills and you're a veteran, but we don't need you to the degree where if you're not here, it's not going to work. And it's tough, man. I hate, it's a battle of ego, and I hate that it's devolved to that. You know what I'm saying? But something that 50 Cent also brought up that was interesting was